If you work in the OnlyFans management space, then you probably have a love-hate relationship with your day-to-day life. Sometimes things go well and you make money and you think everything's going to be great forever. And other times things go badly and you feel like throwing your laptop out the window. And in this video, we are going to talk about some things that will probably lead to that second thing, the laptop defenestration that I mentioned. Because OnlyFans management has a lot of challenges in it. And there are some weaknesses in the business model that if you can solve for these weaknesses, if you can solve for these problems, then you will make a lot of money yourself. And if you sell these solutions, you will also make a lot of money. What's up, everybody? Yala Poppy from simphunter.com. And in this video, I am going to talk about the biggest problems with the OFM business model. So let's get right into it, shall we? Problem number one, relying on the models to do stuff. Oh, buddy, this is the worst. This is actually the worst. You can't really do shit unless the model does something first. You need, and you know, some of them are good, but like if you need something new, oh, I need you to do these Reddit verifications. Oh, I need you to make a PPV. Oh, I need you to fucking whatever, all this shit. It's a pain in the ass. And this is why I think that as you get better, I'm not an expert. Well, am I? No, I'm not an expert. But the longer I do this, the more I lean towards only working with girls who are already established. Like, I'm not, it would be unlikely for me now to take on a girl who's brand new and has no traction at all, like zero traction. I'm not interested. You know what I mean? It's not, I just don't want to do it. So, because it's too much, there's too much they have to do to start. There's a lot of work that's like front loaded in the beginning. She's got crazy potential, you know, and I still make this mistake from time to time. I bought a girl from a marketplace the other day and like, I was so excited because she was very interesting looking. But she's so annoying to work with. I was like, whatever. Anyway, relying with the models to do stuff is a major problem. And people who I know who have shifted from running an agency to selling services, every single one of them says the same thing. They say it's so much easier. It's so much less headache. And it's true, right? Account stealth. You know, we used to manage girls together. He hasn't managed a girl in ages, I don't think. And I remember we talked about it like after he kind of started charging people for Reddit. He was like, man, it's so much easier. It's so much less headache to do it this way. Because I only have to deal with business owners. They pay me for the service. I do it and that's it. Sometimes he has to wait for shit from them, but like that's their problem. It's their problem to get the content from the girl. It's not his problem. My partner in the marketplace, RCE, before he had a marketplace, he was managing models on his own. And he's like, man, ever since I switched to just running the marketplace or just selling models, it's been so much easier. I don't have to deal with any of this other bullshit. All he does, recruit, filter, sell. That's it. And he makes the money. Oh, well, why would you do that if you can make so much more by fucking, you know, managing the model? Because think about all the extra work you have to do, you know, as opposed to like, think about how little work is involved, right? Comparatively, how little work is involved. Recruit, you do the outreach, you filter her, list her on a market, sell her to a fucking agency. That compared to recruit her, onboard her, coordinate with her to get the content back and forth, set up her page, set up her social media profiles, coordinate with her fucking PPVs and all this shit, get her Google Drive, find a chatter, train a chatter, manage the chatter, you know, collect the payouts from her all the time. It's a fucking pain in the ass. Or boom, quick $500 after recruiting her and talking to her for 2 days. You know what I mean? I'm not saying one is better than the other, but one is definitely less work. And I mean, you know, money is money, right? So relying on the models to do stuff is a major problem with OFM. It's I would argue even the biggest problem, even more than traffic. Maybe. Traffic is pretty bad. Okay. So brings me to my next problem. Traffic is problematic. And when I say traffic, what I mean is lead generation. Now, why is lead generation so problematic? Now, if we let's compare this to other businesses, okay? Because I don't think a lot of people think about OFM like a business. When people think about OFM, and I'm talking about, when I say people, I mean us, who are like in the game, on the ground, right? We don't think about it like a business. I don't, at least, or I didn't until recently. The way that I would think about it is like, how can I trick this platform into giving me a result that I want? I wasn't thinking like, how do I grow a business? How do I make an actual business? It's like, how do I get this short-term solution to this problem that I have, and then hire somebody to like keep fucking spinning the wheel until it comes off the fucking hinges. But I think if you think about it like a business, let's think about it like a business for a second. Okay, businesses, they need leads. Now, you take any other service-based business, because OFM is a service-based business. It's actually service-based and product-based at the same time, because you run the service for the models, and the product that you sell is a digital product to the subs. So it's like that added layer of complexity. It's fucked up. But let's compare it to both, actually. Let's compare it to a service business first. You're a chiropractor. You need leads. You run ads. Hey, do you want 50 free adjustment with your exam, 50% off, $50. Boom. You run local ads in your fucking city. You get people walking in the door. That's it. You got leads. Boom. Done. Easy. Product-based businesses. Let's say you sell fucking, I don't know, coffee, hats, whatever. You put that shit on Amazon, you run some ads, you make some social media posts. I guess products are a little bit harder now that I think about it. I don't really know how to market products, to be honest with you. But the same shit applies, right? Make social media content, you run ads. But the point is that you can do all of this stuff without having to worry, without having to trick anybody. You can run ads for hats or for, teeth cleaning on Instagram, no problem. But you can't really do that with OFM. You can't run ads for your models. Where are you going to run ads for them? Hey, come subscribe to my OnlyFans page and buy my, dildo video. Like, that doesn't exist. There's no, maybe there is something out there like that. But it's really hard. It's much harder to market. It's much harder to get leads for OFM. It's very hard. So that's the biggest problem. That's, I would say, everybody's biggest problem. Now, if you can solve for that, I'm not saying it's impossible. And I'm also not saying that you need to sit there and figure out how to do it yourself manually. Like, you don't need to be the one to do it. There's a lot of ways to solve the traffic problem, right? There are paid sources of traffic. There are ways to use social media for traffic. You can get models that already have a following. It's free traffic right there. You can do GGs. There's a ton of stuff that you can do. But it's a challenge, right? But here's the thing, is that getting leads for any business is a challenge. Lead gen is fucking hard. But lead gen is basically the life of any business. How many leads do you have? Are they good leads? If you have an unlimited source of inbound hot leads that are just like, hey, I want to buy Apple, for example. Apple doesn't do, I mean, I guess they do some advertising, but nobody goes and buys a fucking iPhone because like they saw a commercial and they're like, wow, that iPhone looks so cool. I want to go buy it. Nobody cares. They buy the iPhone because they bought the last iPhone and they want the new iPhone, and that's it. And they go to the Apple store. Apple store's packed. Every Apple store that I go to is always packed. Always. There's always fucking 50 people in there, playing with the phones, whatever. And people go spend thousands of dollars just because Apple makes good products. So it's a little bit different. But if you think about it like that, right? If you think about it like you want to be the Apple of OFM. You want to make a product so good that people just fucking show up and are like, hey, can I buy this? Hey, I want to buy this, right? Models just fucking show up at your door and like, hey, I heard you're a really good agency. Can I work with you? Let me know how it works. Wouldn't that be great? The way to do that is you have to actually build a good business. You have to have good chatters. You have to have a reliable source of traffic. You have to produce good results for your models. You have to do all that stuff. There's no trick to it. There's no way around it. And therein lies the rub. The third biggest problem in the OFM business model is not controlling the money. Now, I know there are ways around this. Yes, some are more acceptable than others. But aside from opening a bank account for your model that you control, there's not too many good options. Yeah, you can do the whole like Paxum, you control the Paxum and all that shit. That's fine. You can do that. What I've noticed is that most of the time, if you do a good job and you have a good relationship with your model, you will get paid on time. She will pay you out for sure. And this also comes down to like choosing the right girls to work with. Because let's be honest, if you choose the wrong girl to work with, she's not gonna one day just fuck you over. Like there's gonna be signs that she's the wrong girl before she fucking runs off with, whatever money she earned that week. There's gonna be other signs. I had an experience recently. There's one girl, we were doing like 10K a month for her. And it was her bank that was connected. And she started doing payouts to herself, like before they were supposed to be paid out. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I have an illness, this and that. And I was like, okay, well, that's our money. I'm sorry you have an illness, but like you're not allowed to steal our money to go fucking to the hospital every week because you feel sick. Sorry. And it was some bullshit illness. She's on drugs, but like whatever. With this girl, basically, and this was a red flag that I should have known about in the beginning. She's like, I have an illness and I take morphine for the pain. So basically, like what this means is that she's addicted to morphine and lies and says she has an illness so that she can go to the hospital and get more morphine. Anyway, it's fucked. But like, I shouldn't have been working with her in the beginning. Sometimes you get greedy, you get tempted, and you're like, you see the money coming in, and you're like, wow, that's so good. If only she would pay us. So we lost like $5,000. It was fucking gay, but whatever. But that rarely happens. That happens infrequently enough. I mean, it happens. It happens infrequently enough that not controlling the money is not necessarily something I'm worried about. But it's still, not having control is still a problem. It's still a problem because you don't have control. If you have control, then you don't have to worry about it, right? Number 4, hiring and training new chatters is challenging. Now, I am fortunately at the point where I know how to hire and train a good chatter. I know when I hire somebody, I know if that person is going to be good, and I know how to train them to be good, right? I know if they've got the potential, because what you guys like, here's what I learned is that the quality of the person that you get that responds to the ad, there's huge variability there. Yes, everybody can do the job. It's not that they can't do it. It's just that they're so stupid or so lazy that they won't implement what you teach them to do. That's really all there is to it. Because at the end of the day, anybody can sit on their computer and type. It's not hard, right? It's not like, can you read and write? Okay, you can do this job. Do you have a pulse? Like, do you speak English? Okay, this job is within your ability. But the quality of person that you need in order to do the job is surprisingly high. So that said, it still is a challenge. Hiring and training new chatters is not, just because it's possible and I know how to do it, it doesn't mean it's easy. Like, I still have to go put the job out. I still have to get all the applications. I still have to go through the applications. I have to send everybody messages on Telegram. I have to do the fucking role play with them. It's a pain in the ass. But I know that every new chatter that I bring on is going to sell for minimum $300 a day, minimum, eventually, like hopefully no less than 2 weeks in, no more than 2 weeks in. And that's going to be another, well, let's say $9,000? Yes, $9,000 a month. Yeah, split whatever. Like I don't get all 9,000. Obviously, let's say I take, I don't know, let's say I take 30% of that. It's lowball it a little bit. It's an extra $3,000 a month for every chatter that I hire. Would I hire? And not only that, I can bring on more models. More models are happy. The chatters may improve. The chatters may do $1,000 a day. They might turn out to be fucking beasts. So it will all lead to good things. So that's something that I should spend my time doing. I should spend several hours a day doing that, theoretically. I mean, by that logic, that's going to directly put money into my bank account. I'm going to go fucking post an ad right now and fucking get started on that shit. But it is challenging. Is it possible? Yes. If you don't know how to do it, will it take you some time and some sweat and some tears to figure it out? Also, yes. Number 5, there are very few reliable service providers. Very few. Very, very few. OFM is the wild fucking west. It's still the Wild West. It was the Wild West before. Who the fuck is calling me, bro? Bro, get fucked, dude. Some fucking VA is calling me. Dude, I hate these motherfuckers so much. Anyway, there's no reliable service providers. So fucking distracted me. I'm gonna fucking kill this motherfucker. Anyway, yeah, very few reliable service providers. In fact, I would say that I have never paid for a service, any traffic service, any chatting service. Every single one has been disappointing. Stuff like things that are commoditized are fine. Accounts, proxies, that kind of thing. That's fine. Because that's how are you going to fuck that up? How are you going to fuck up a fucking... I guess you could also. But like, there's very few reliable service providers. And what that means is that you need to build an in-house team for everything. Everything you do needs to be in-house. So that's a challenge because you need to you need to fucking post the job ad. You need to sift through the applications. You need to talk to these people. You need to communicate with them. You need to make sure they're not fucking retarded. And it's a pain. Cool. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. I am done. Subscribe, comment, like. Goodbye.